Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Life in Denver. Today, we're gonna be covering for you guys why we actually find most of our clients, most of our family and friends, pretty much everyone we know actually doesn't end up living in the city. So if that's something you're curious on, why most people end up in the suburbs, definitely wanna stick around and find out.
All right, and per usual, since I'm the mom, I'm gonna start with the most obvious choice, which is school districts. A lot of times you will find that people come looking to live to Denver and then don't realize that a lot of the, highly rated school districts are actually located in the suburbs. So you'll find definitely, some of the school districts within the city limits, like Cherry Creek Schools, which is a great school district, is kind of, borderline in the city. However, you do find like your Douglas County and definitely Boulder schools are definitely, ranked in the top 5 and also in the suburbs. So a lot of people come in with the idea, yeah, we'll live in the city, have great schools. A lot of times, families do end up living in the suburbs because they want, that close niche kind of different school for their children. So definitely something, And
definitely not something out of the ordinary to Denver, right? Because every city tends to be that way, to where most of the time the suburbs do just have a little bit higher tier schooling, and you send, that's where most people want to start a family too, because the city tends to be more so, the young professionals who are first coming out, maybe don't have that family yet. They want that, that nightlife, the bars, the restaurants, all that fun stuff. So definitely a great spot if you aren't the family stage yet. But a lot of the people we talk to, are at that stage where they want to be starting a family, they want to have that little extra space. So the suburbs actually tend to be where 60-70% of people end up landing, actually.
All right, and before Joe continues to jump the gun on number 2, one of the biggest reasons why a lot of our clients decide to move to the suburbs is the space that the suburbs offer. So definitely a lot of people are looking for larger lot sizes, bigger homes, and that's something that you'll definitely find in the suburbs located throughout the Denver metro. It doesn't mean you're going to be 45 minutes to an hour away from the city. It just means you're not necessarily going to be in the heart of the city.
Definitely the thing I was gonna call it too. So not all suburbs are alike. So some suburbs will have those smaller lot sizes, but what you do find is, there are definitely ones that are a little more established, can have a little bit more lot size, like Greenwood Village, actually where we are today. Yep. Another one that does just offer some bigger lot size, just a little more room to spread out with the family and everything, because the city's great. The city definitely, not to ding it or anything, but it's just their city lots. They're like 5,000 square foot lots. So you're not gonna have the ability to really have that space that you're looking for as the family grows. And again, too, a lot of people just want a bigger house in general, because maybe that 2-bedroom house doesn't work out as you start having, multiple kids, you just don't have the room, or if you're working from home, you need an office, you need 3-4 bedrooms. It's not that you can't find it in the city, right. But one, if you do buy that in the city, it could be at a premium, and 2, you're definitely gonna find just more optionality out in the suburbs. So the suburbs do tend to fit that kind of young family dynamic and people who just need that little bit more space, which also leads me to point number 3. A lot of people we talk to are interested in new builds. Right. Interest rates are up. It's kind of sticking around at these points, like 7-8% for a while now. So a lot of people, they're not necessarily interested in buying at that rate with an existing home. So as we've talked about in other videos, these builders are buying these rates down to, sometimes 4 or 5%, which is huge on that payment. Yep. So frankly, a lot of people want to go the new build route. And what's nice about that is, you do have a little bit, more optionality as far as customizing what you pick and choose. There is a longer timeline, but at the same time, if you're willing to wait that timeline, it does open the door to a lot more options, a lot more space, and just, it fits a lot of people's wants and needs there on that side of things as well.
Right, you get more bang for your buck.
You do, especially when you get to those kind of outskirts of some of those cities.
Right, so you're working on some of the outskirts of the city, and you do get to use more funds towards the house you like, right? So whereas in Denver, you would be paying for a premium for a larger space, you might have less room count. However, with like new builds and located out in the suburbs, a lot of times you do find larger bedrooms, your 2-car garage, you're not struggling with parking.
That's another
thing, definitely,
parking,
definitely something, worth considering too. Don't want to necessarily steer you away. There we go, from old, from existing homes, because definitely, if you have realtors who are able to negotiate for you and, get you seller concessions to help you buy down the rate, if you are looking for an existing home, that is something that does happen. And guys, just a friendly reminder, Joe and I are licensed realtors here in the state of Colorado.
We'll negotiate for you. We'll go to bat.
Exactly. So if you have any real estate needs, please feel free to contact us at the information on your screen.
Absolutely, guys. No, but just to put that out for, again, not to deter you from the city, but just giving you the reality of what we find. A lot of the people we talk to, just, it doesn't fit their wants and needs. And, it's very easy. You're searching, living in Denver, you're searching, life in Denver, all these different terms. And of course, Denver is what comes to mind. You haven't heard of some of these suburbs. I did the same thing when I was moving out here. But what comes with time is you start to realize, hey, let me look at some of the surrounding areas. Maybe some of those suburbs do just kind of fit the bill a little bit better. So just being honest with you guys, what we do tend to find, a lot of people do end up in the suburbs.
And the suburbs
reasons.
isn't always a bad, you know, isn't always a bad
and
thing
this is
either.
Not a
just
crazy
because
city
it's like
where it's
30-minute
like 2 hours.
drive.
Yeah.
It's 45 minutes, 30 minutes
For
with
sure.
traffic. So if you're still looking to get out on date night and do something fun within the city, definitely something that's still attainable, you know, not something that you think in like Miami traffic, right? 2 hours to get out of like central Miami to like other areas. So definitely, you know, don't feel like,
Monique's got the beach on her
there we go.
mind.
Yes, that's exactly.
Cold winter
it's been
weather,
too
she's thinking
cold.
Miami.
Yep, exactly. So definitely something, you know, if you are looking, don't let us, you know, kind of tell you, hey, no, not a great idea. Definitely, you know, options for everyone located within the Denver metro. That's what makes Colorado so beautiful.
100%. And the other thing to call out for you guys too, jumping into the next point for you is, and it's just a reality of any city compared to suburbs, the suburbs do just have more space, and what comes with more space, especially on the west side of this area, is you're just more outdoor activities, more access to the nature and all that fun stuff. Denver specifically does have a lot of parks, a lot of nature within it. You know, I can't knock it, it does.
It does a good job. It does more than a lot of other cities in terms of having like local walkways, local paths. You have, you know, like parks in the middle of downtown with like a little riverway where you can let your dog get in the water and things like that. But it definitely doesn't compare to the suburbs in terms of, you know, like the bluffs, hiking, Joe's favorite place. Joe's our golfer, our hiker, our skier.
The outdoors
He's
guy,
the outdoors guy. So there we go. More outdoorsy.
Monique does all the home searches for you guys. I do all the outdoor scoping and get that video content for you guys. But no, in all reality, like when I have family and friends come out, like, you know, they end up in Denver, of course, that's where everyone wants to see, that's what they're coming out. But as soon as they get out here, I'm like, look, we got to go out to the mountains. We got to go scope what's west of the city, just because that's truly what feels like Colorado to me, at least. When I think about here, I think of the outdoors, I think of the nature trails, I think of, you know, hanging out in the mountains, hiking. And there's not really mountains in the city per se. So most of the people who come out here, they want to get out there. And that's why a lot of the time too, we see people end up sometimes on the west side of the city just because they want to access that as well as the city. So the suburbs really, they're a great fit, and a lot of them are new. So it's like, it doesn't feel like, hey, you know, I don't really like this area or whatever. Like, a lot of it's super modern, super clean, super nice. Like, there's a lot of nice stuff in these suburbs. There's a lot of good options to pick from.
And a lot of suburbs too, not to cut you off, also incorporate the Highland Canal. So definitely something, you know, if you are looking to be within a suburb and you want that like big outdoors type of feel, you can definitely be in the suburbs and have access to the Highland Canal, have access to different local trails and parks that interconnect. And so you're definitely not tied just to that specific trail. Denver does, I feel like the suburbs and overall Colorado does a good job at, you know, tying in trails all throughout the Denver metro and the suburbs, but you are definitely going to find that more in suburb living versus being in the city.
Couldn't agree more. All right, and last point to make for you guys, this is a big one too, just any city's going to be this way, is traffic and parking is kind of a pain when you live in the city. And a lot of the time, you know, you might not even have a designated parking spot. So I have friends who live in the city, they're kind of stuck playing that, you know, game of cat and mouse, trying to get that street parking spot.
Better be a good parallel parker.
Yeah, you better be a good parallel parker. Or the other option, depending if you're truly like downtown, this is kind of a pro and a con in the same sense of a lot of places will offer garages, but the garage comes with a monthly fee. So it's just kind of one more thing to be paying every month. So if you're cool with that, no problem. But the suburbs, generally, you're going to have your own driveway, a lot of the time your own garage, depending where you buy at. And that's important to people.
Ample street parking.
Well, so let me put this out there for you guys too. Another thing that's nice about having a garage is, and this is not just Colorado, there's other states too, but we do get hail out here. And so if you're gonna hang out and the street parking, or even just a snowstorm, you're either getting snowed in or potentially hailed on and getting that damage to your car. So a lot of people have realized at a minimum a carport, ideally a garage is really, really nice to have. And not to say you can't find that in the city, but especially some of the older houses here in the city, they don't offer that. It just wasn't something that was thought through versus, again, you know, we talk about how, you know, a lot of homes in the suburbs are new builds. They've thought through what was missing in some of these older homes. So a garage being one, you know, we talk about laundry being upstairs is another one, just some of these modern amenities that didn't exist in the past. So again, you know, just kind of one more point for the suburbs. So not saying we're suburb fanboys, however, just saying there are going to be a lot of pros that a lot of people kind of come to realize as they do their own research. So just want to put that data out there for you guys and kind of put out what other people have kind of voiced to us, what we've realized ourselves, even just things that are important to your day-to-day living standard.
Guys, and as much as Joe and I love making these videos for you, we would love to help with any real estate needs you may have. So please feel free to contact us at the information on your screen. Also, if you want to see a topic that we're not necessarily discussing, please leave your comments in the comment section. We are the ones addressing all those comments. So please feel free to reach out, and we look forward to catching you on the next one.
We'll catch you guys soon. Talk to you guys later.